We've enjoyed an incredible week of scoring so far here at Studley Wood. The cut mark was the lowest ever in EuroPro Tour history at 5 under par, and at the top of the leaderboard, Scott Fallon, 16 under through 2 rounds. Yes, you heard that right, 16 under, 19 birdies in just 36 holes, and it's a 5-shot lead going into the final round. That might sound unassailable, but this is a course where people can go low. Course records have gone. We've had plenty of rounds in the mid-60s. A 10 under is possible. There are 5 par 5s, most of them reachable in 2, so there are eagle chances and danger as well for the front runner. He's got to go out there and score low. He's off the back of a tied course record yesterday, so the confidence is flowing. But there is a slight back injury. He says he's feeling good this morning, but we all know how difficult things can be when you're carrying a slight tweak on the golf course. It's all set up for a scintillating final round here at Studley Wood.
As Kit says, the final round set, plenty of opportunities, the chance to make history and plenty to build on from the opening 2 rounds. Scott Fallon with 66 and 64 leads on 16 under, James Simpson and Nick Watson his closest pursuers, but both with 5 shots to make up, and former European Tour winner Van Phillips in there, hoping to take advantage if Fallon should falter. Now an astonishing finish for Joe Dean, 4 birdies on the bounce followed by an eagle at the last to be back in 30 for a closing 65, so Dean finishes the week on 13 under par. And yet he isn't the clubhouse leader. James Ruth also had an eagle late on at the 17th, he also closed with a 65, and on 14 under it's time for him to sit and wait. Sitting and waiting to talk us through the action with me today, Gary Allis and John E. Morgan. Welcome along, lads.
Yeah, how you doing, Michael? Nice to be here, and straight into the action. 10 under par at the first hole, second shot. Just a nice little raised green here for the boys to contend with. And that one's over the back, and that's going to be an awkward chip. Very fast from there.
Will Ennifer.
Par the first, having started the day 7 behind.
Just a lofted iron. And right at it. And these greens are really holding nicely, John, aren't they? The course is fast running, but the greens are very receptive.
Yeah, that's the thing, Gary. I think this is why the boys are going so low. They're really able to take the flags out. They know the ball's going to hold. Now look at this. Got the weight on the front foot. Getting the weight with the slope, and oh, that dug its hooves in. That's very unfortunate. One little hop more and that was down by the flag.
McCarroll, the winner of the Pro-Am at the start of the week with a 65.
First hole. Fallon with his tee shot. Launching a big old bend in the follow through there, John. Don't think my back could cope with that anymore.
No, I don't think mine could either, but he's found a fairway, and what a start that is, guys.
So big wind up, here we go, lashing at it, right foot slipping, away it goes, and Kit's down on the fairway. Let's hear from him.
Fallon has sent an absolute missile down here on the first fairway. He's only got 90 yards in. The greens are soft and receptive. They're running brilliantly. What an opportunity to start his final round with a birdie.
Yeah, it is. Of course, playing that little bit different though from last year, a little bit harder and faster last year, a little bit softer this year, but still green's a little bit more receptive, able to land the ball by the flags. We see this one down the slope to save his par, and that's a nice start. That's going to feel like a birdie.
Ennifer had a chance in the opening event at Frilford Heath before finishing with a 74, ended up in 9th place.
Greens really are running absolutely as true as anything. I mean, the moment that left the putter, it was in.
Yeah, it did. I mean, they're like glue, mate. There's great putting services here at Studley. Now Simpson put the pressure on his playing partner, Scott Fallon.
66 yesterday to go with his opening 69.
Yeah, nice round that. And I tell you what, that probably looked great in the air, but it's very hard to judge when the green's above you. Now Brooks from under the undergrowth.
This is an awkward one. Ball back, driving down onto it. Keep it low under the branches. And as we can see, a nice puff of sand.
Yeah, now Scott Fallon, after that missile that Kit said he hit down here, hasn't got much left in, just the most lofted club in the bag. A bit of chubby checker on that one. Back on the green she goes.
Yes, it's an early wrist break, keeps the weight on the left. And as I say, it's a swing rather his own.
Yeah, don't blame him. Now Brooks, obviously taking a drop back, yellow stakes down there.
Found the rushes with his second.
Ooh, that has some sudden zip on it. Now, this is one that you fancy, isn't it, Gary?
Yeah, just a little straight first, bump it onto the fringe. Well, I think when he hit that, I thought he would have liked that, and it just broke too late.
A good player, this Brooks. This is for bogey. This is his fifth. And that's a straight block, and that's going to be a double bogey. That's going to be painful for the young lad. But he comes across like one of these players that can shrug it off. Doesn't hold a grudge, gets on with it.
Fallon looking to strengthen his grip on this early on.
Left edge. He certainly had the line, just very frustrating, isn't it, when you leave it a couple of inches short like that?
Yeah, well, he's quite a local boy, knows his place well.
Now Dave Coupland has finished the front nine. Birdie, birdie, eagle to be out in 28. That £59,000 for a 59 really didn't seem likely on a par 73, but maybe not unthinkable now. Certainly not unthinkable that Scott Fallon could go on to win his first EuroPro Tour title today, but he's only one ahead now of Coupland. James Ruth in with that 65. He's posted a target of 14 under par. We saw Enna for birdie the second. He's since parred the third. Here he is on 4.
Nice backdrop, launching the ball up into the grey sky. And another cracking shot, absolutely pin high, about 15 feet up the hill.
Well, here's Simpson at the third. Tee shot, all about position off the tee for your second over water. We've seen Brooks have a bit of spot of bother down here, made double. There's a few big trees lurking. He looks like he's caught one, and that could have gone absolutely anywhere.
Ennifer looking for his second birdie already today.
Never looked anywhere else. Thank you very much.
Simpson has been really unlucky here on the third. His tee shot has just leaked right into the trees, and he is right up against the base of this one. The hole is that way, so there's no way he can go for it, especially with water short. He's got to come out sideways, but even that's not easy. He can't go backwards because he can't get the club head to the ball, and it's so tight up against that trunk. He's almost going to have to deliberately play it right out of the toe of the club. There's another tree almost in the way of his chip back. This will be good just to get it back in the fairway.
See, I'd be tempted to hit the right side of that tree that he's aiming at right now and just catapult it straight right down the fairway, Gary, wouldn't you?
I'm not sure that it would really be on, but man of your skill and calibre, you know, I can see you taking that on, John, and pulling it off.
Yeah, a little bit crazy in my ways, mate.
I'd probably do it by accident.
Well, for here. He's playing so well, and he's giving himself another chance. And this is a nice light in the first cut. Just got it out from behind the tree. Now over water. Pin on the right-hand side, midway up this green. If you can keep it below it, leave yourself a nice uphill putt. A little bit left, he's leaning. Oh, it's long. I think he's hit the cameraman.
I think he has. Hope he's got good insurance. Probably looking at his first dropped shot anyway.
Fallon, slap bang in the middle of the fairway.
It's the shortest of the par fours, this, and Fallon's birdied it in both rounds so far.
Oh, he got into that one. Some shot there, but yeah, he's going to be disappointed with that outcome from that range. Now, Coupland on the 11th, tee shot, par 3. Come on. Have a grandstand finish, get that 59s, drawing back in. Oh, right down the throat of the flag. Lovely shot.
That was a fantastic shot. He can certainly post some low numbers, can Dave Coupland. Good player.
If he was to get the 59, of course, you really think you have to get something on all the par 5s, and he could only manage a par at the long 10th.
Yeah, definitely a nice deposit on a new house if you fancied it. Won't be bad with it, 59 grand. Now Simpson at the back of the green, not much green to work with, pitching it off it. Should turn from right to left. Yeah, not a bad effort.
Now can Enifer continue this fast start he's making? 3 birdies in the first 5.
Yeah, the hole's the size of a bucket. Now Fallon from distance after that spinny backy second shot.
Yeah, he just got too much backspin on it now, but it's running up. Never quite got the right line this time though.
And that means Coupland has this to go into a share of the lead.
Yeah, not to be, unfortunately, for Dave. It was a little fast putt from left to right, a little bit awkward for us righties. I think Phil Mickelson would have liked that one. Now Simpson just to polish off. This is his bogey effort.
So his first move is in the wrong direction, and when you're trying to come from a long way behind, can't really afford that.
So Dave Coupland to tidy up. You're right, John. For right-handers, that downhill left to right, it's difficult to see the line, isn't it?
It is, because you kind of cut across you and away from you. It's not easy, guys.
So tap in par for Fallon, keeps him in the outright lead. 1 ahead of the chasing Coupland. Ruth continuing his waiting period back in the clubhouse. Dean in on 13 under, and Luke Turbot, who had a 64 on the opening day, followed it with a 76. He's 13 under with 3 to go. The management here at Studley Wood delighted once again to be hosting the tour.
I think we've been blessed with the weather. We had some rainstorms over the last 2 or 3 weeks, which have really encouraged the growth. The greens are receptive. Last year they were receptive, but still a little bit bouncy, a little bit dry. But now, I mean, they've got good targets to hit into. All our playing surfaces we try to get as good as we see on the tour week in, week out in America, in Britain. All we try to do is emulate that and copy it. We go around and look at other courses, so we pinch ideas or look at ways that we can improve it year on year.
The top of the leaderboard is a crowded place, plenty of players jostling for position in the early exchanges. Fallon holding on by a shot in the PDC Golf Championship. Welcome back to the final round of the PDC Golf Championship at Studley Wood, event number 3 on the EuroPro Tour this season. Scott Fallon on course for his first ever win on the tour, but Dave Coupland is really chasing as he comes into the closing stretch. Fallon on 16 under, very early stages of his round. Coupland's still got 7 holes to go to try and catch him. And Ruth, he's going to be waiting a long time to see if that 14 under turns out to be good enough for him.
On the 4th tee, Scott Fallon.
Likes this hole, he's made 2 on it in both rounds.
Yeah, a little kind of drop hole here, just green below them, and look at that, he generates some backspin. He's striking the ball extremely well. That's a lengthy putt for, well, will be his 3rd 2 on that one.
McCarroll first played on this tour as long ago as 2009. He's never won on it, but he's been second twice.
Love that rhythm, John, there. Just nice, easy, sliding the club under the ball.
Yeah, looks like he's got all the time in the world, Gary. So you see Simpson here at 4. Try to outdo his playing partner, Scott Fallon, on the tee. Probably seen what club he needs. He probably knows he needs a little bit more. Seen Scott come up a club shy. And this is, well, up by the flag. He's definitely gone to school on that one. Great shot.
Now, what can Dave Coupland do?
Yeah, lovely hole here, Gary. Over the edge of the trees. The sleeper's on the right. And that is perfection.
Interesting, John. It's another player swinging in the same way. The club face looks a little shut at the top of the backswing there, but it's just that they have a flatter plane now, faster hip rotation.
Deceptive putt, this one for Fallon. From behind the ball, it looks like the start of it is uphill, but as you can see from here, it's actually level. The overall slope of the green and that sweeping downhill section right at the end is very deceptive to the eye. Really easy to run this one 4 or 5 feet past if you get a bit too aggressive. Also a little bit of a swing in it. As that pace comes off it towards the end, it's going to move right to left, perhaps as much as 2 holes.
We'll see that put in a moment, but first McCarroll, all par so far for the Irishman. This would be the way to break that sequence.
Yeah, he needs to get on the birdie train, Michael. And he's done it. They're all making birdies. He's got to join the clan. He really has.
Now, Fallon's putt. Let's see what he's read into this. Oh, it was a good effort on it. Did just break, slid right across the face of the hole, but beautiful pace.
The fact that he has missed it means Coupland now has a putt to go into a tie at the top.
Yeah, and here he comes, Michael. There's not much, there's 2.5 feet to go. I think this will be a formality with the greens running as pure as they are, and there it is. Tied at the top he is.
Yeah, 9 under for the day and 2 par 5 still to come. Is the 59 dream still alive?
Oh yes, we hope. Now, Simpson had a great read off Fallon. See her break a little bit off the right hand side, and in she pops. Go to school all the way through that hole. Nice birdie too.
And immediately gets back the shot he dropped at the third. 25 years of age, like so many of his generation. His favourite player, Tiger Woods. Favourite course, Wentworth, venue for the recent PGA Championship. Only 3 years into his career, still relatively early stages.
You showed what was possible at the very end of your round yesterday. Of course, we've got the par 5 finish. How much is a big enough lead going into those final 2 holes?
I don't think there's really one, because I think there's danger on both the holes, so there could be a big swing. I mean, with a good finish, you could make possibly a couple of eagles coming in with them both being reachable. And like I say, there's danger, so there's a high number to be shot in the holes as well. So I think no lead's big enough really coming into the last 2 holes.
Runner-up in the Matchroom Sport Championship last year, James Simpson. That was his best finish of 2017.
Yeah, now at the 5th, out with driver. A little soft kind of meandering from right to left this hole. Gonna give it some beans, I feel. Only has. Looks a little bit drawy, this one. Hanging down the left-hand side, I feel. Oh, look at that one. Look at it. Catches the fast lane. Woohoo! Keep going, Bull. That's not going to be too bad.
Brendan McCarroll with a good chance here to set up the opportunity for back-to-back birdies.
Free and easy swing, throwing the ball up to the pin, and as you can see, almost throwing it straight in the hole. Great shot.
Yeah, that would have been fantastic. Now Fallon out with iron. Very different play to Simpson.
He's now lost the outright lead, but plenty of holes left to get it back.
Yeah, lots of chances, Michael, around this golf course. And you can see Fallon's hit a great iron shot down the middle. He's a long way behind his playing partner, though.
That's one of the beauties of this course, that there are a number of ways that you can play the different holes, and we're seeing that.
Yeah, indeed, as we see a tall, high-flying wedge out the semi. Jennifer, and he's played a beauty, letting it extend up the green towards the flag pin eye. And there's, wow, our overnight leader. He ain't leader no more, he's co-leader. A nice little chin wag with his caddy.
Well, you said John McCarroll needed to get on the birdie train. He's travelling first class now because that's 2 in a row for him.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Once you start getting them, getting to a rhythm, seeing birdies, they start flowing.
So, having found the middle of the fairway with his iron tee shot, found the zips one in. He really does zip the club under the ball there. Get some.
Oh! Cool, his heart was in his mouth. I think he thought he had that. That was, honestly, I reckon, half an inch from going into the front door of that hole.
Yeah, you're right.
This is Van Phillips, who played on the European Tour for a number of years and won on it, beating John Bickerton in a playoff for the Portuguese Open 19 years ago now.
Yeah, good man, Van.
Very well. Very good.
Seen him out on the golf course in the practice round, actually. He went out there and he was hitting a few shots, working on his swing. Had to change his swing because he's had some back problems in his career as well, Michael, and he's adapting well. Good boy, Van. Good player.
Yeah, it goes to 10 under. Van certainly motoring today, John, you might say.
Ah, boom, boom.
Well, not sure I can cope with humour like that. Yeah, dear.
Oh, what a shot from Simpson. Blocked out by the trees. Up and over she goes, and well, there are going to be 2 tap-ins.
There is some amazing golf going on as we jump forward to Dave Coupland.
Yeah, you might look at the scores and say, oh, this is an easy course, but then you look, they're actually playing really good golf to get those scores.
They are indeed, Michael, and I tell you what, that's going to be another chance for Dave there. Just pin on the right-hand side. They're getting all their yardages spot on. They're not giving themselves much. And if we're here, just slightly off the right-hand side, I feel. Right edge, down the slope, and he pops it in. That's another birdie we see. My goodness, relentless.
Yeah, he's moving into the frame. This man had 19 birdies over the first 2 rounds. Surely this is going to be his first today.
Yeah, opens his account. And back into the lead he pops.
But for how long? Because Coupland has this to join him on 17 under.
Lovely fringes here. It runs just like the putting green, doesn't it? And straight in the cup.
Mate, this is going to be the norm. My goodness, Dave, come on, my son.
Almost 5 years since his only win on the EuroPro Tour. Maybe he's going to end that long wait today.
Yeah, that's a cracking birdie from Simpson. Big drive down the left, a little bit blocked out, but was able to work some magic to get the 3.
So maybe it's developing into a 2-way battle now between Coupland and Fallon, both on 17 under. Ruth must be feeling now that 14 under won't be enough, and Luke Turbot needs a birdie at the last to shoot a course record 64 for the second time this week.
As it's the official PDC Golf Championship, we've got a little darts challenge for a couple of our players. Behind me on the green, you can see we've set up a little target around a hole. Now this is all about where the ball pitches. The closer it is, the more points you get, and that dream slam dunk will get you 50. I've been joined by 2 players, Joe Dean and Mark Lasky. Now we all know no darts player is complete without their nickname. So Mark, first of all to you, what is your nickname and why?
Mark Snake Hips Lasky, and this is why.
Well, I don't know how you're going to follow that, Joe, but
No, definitely
your nickname and why, please?
Mine's got to be Joe the Devil D,
Perfect. Why is that?
just because I'm a very angry person.
That's the formalities out the way. Now let's get into the action. First shot of the tournament to set the tone for Mark Lasky. Oh, he starts in the pink.
Unbelievable.
Oh, that's a great effort.
Oh, it's got to be pink.
It looks like it caught the blue. The referee's saying pink.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, that's got to be good. Oh, it's in the pink. 20 points. 20-point deficit for the Devil to make up and set a target for Mark Snake Hips Lasky to beat on this final station. It's in the green. Oh, it's on the blue line. That could be massive for Lasky. A 30-pointer. Well, Joe, this cometh the moment. Oh, and it is, it's on the blue as well. Back to 15 with the 30-pointer. An ultimate shot for Snake Hips. Just into the yellow, 10 points, he's up to 25.
What do I need?
25 points behind.
25.
Has to be inside the blue or a slam dunk to put the pressure back on Snake Hips. Oh, it's into the yellow. It's not enough. Mark Snake Hips Lasky is the champion.
Good work. Well done, mate.
There we have it. The inaugural PDC Golf Darts Challenge Championship and our winner, Snake Hips.
As to who will be the winner here, find out after the break. It's the final round of the PDC Golf Championship at Studley Wood, and it's developing into a real tussle between Dave Coupland and Scott Fallon, who are both 17 under par, playing at opposite ends of the course and pulling away somewhat from the field. Ruth and Turbot on 14 under. Ruth hasn't a chance to improve on that. Turbot does, though. He's chasing his second 64 of the week. And Webber and Ennifer both on 13 under, with a lot of holes left to improve on that position.
Well, second shot here at the 7th par 5. Out of, well, doesn't look like a great lie in the second cut, but it's come out sounded really good connection. Can run it up onto the green. Well, he's got it green high, at least. Yeah, that should be not too bad. A little bit of green to work with as we see Fallon here at 6.
Only been 2 bogeys on this hole all day.
Oh, it's a very friendly game.
Never mind darts, that was a bit more like snooker there.
I tell you what, you've got them all, haven't you, Michael? Now, here we go. Drop. Why? I want to know why. All's official there, no nearer the hole.
10 under for the day, Coupland, but could his charge be ending there on the 14th?
Just a little bit awkward, that over the corner there, but he's played it beautifully, McCall. I must say that the standard on this tour is improving year on year. It's amazing.
Gary, I couldn't agree more. Every year goes by, I just see more and more better players. The standard, the low scores, as we see our man here grabbing another birdie. He's back on the birdie train again.
Yeah, he's back into a one-shot lead, and that maybe could be more given Coupland's problems on 14, which we'll get back to in a moment. But first, McCarroll.
Yeah, going back to the standard of play, Gary, you know, you come out here and they're working so hard in the games, and the fitness side of the game now is so massive, and they're able to put themselves in all sorts of positions to get the best out of their game. As we see Dave here, ball below his stance. Can see there's a red post there to the left. Maybe he was in the hazard. Cool. My goodness.
Yeah, so often with the very good players, when the ball's below the higher handicap, they're always frightened of losing it right. A very good player knows that it could go there, so they tend to work their hands and arms more through impact. And you often find that a pro will actually draw the ball from a position with the ball below the feet.
Yeah, there you go. Good insight there, guys.
Now, Brooks hasn't had a birdie yet today, a double bogey at the 3rd, and otherwise all pars. Now, earlier in the week, John went out for a look at the 8th.
Right, I'm in the zone. I'm looking at 8, 153 yards. Pins at the front today. Could be at the back funnel though, in the middle of the green. It's a really awkward par 3 this. You would fancy your chances of a par 3 because it does stare you in the face and it is so inviting. But you've got water short, got water right, you've got a bunker pin eye left of the green as well, down that left-hand side, fraught with danger. You know, probably 8 iron, maybe even 7 iron if the pin's at the back. That's where you got to hit it. But today with that pin at the front, there's 2 clubs of difference. I'm going with a 9 iron into the wind. I tell you what, I drilled it and he's on line and he's drawing nicely. Oh, that's got to be close. I tell you what, that span, oh, I don't know if it stayed on the green, but, well, should we go and have a look? I think we shall. Come on. Well, this is what I want you to see. Just the lake in play here. Beautiful pond. You come into it, you probably carried it by about 20 feet, I have, onto the putting surface, left myself a lovely little putt, pretty straight. I'm going to try and put a nice little stroke on it. Go on, go on, go on. Go against the... Oh, look at that, nearly a 2. But look, it's fraught with danger. Bunker on the left-hand side there, really squiggly green. And this is going to be a little beauty for the players when they play this hole. And if the wind's up, I tell you what, might see a few high scores.
Not been many high scores from McCarroll over the last few holes. He's on a real charge. Birdies at 5, 6 and 7 as he comes to the 8th.
And yet another beautifully balanced swing now. Has he got the club right? Yep, pretty much bang on for length.
Well, Brooks, after that poor chip, this to resurrect this hole and make a birdie. Up the hill, off the right. Oh, and he slots it in. Now he's forgotten all about that chip now. It's all about how good that putt was, and it's a birdie on the card.
And it's his first of the day, long overdue, repeating what he did on that hole yesterday.
Now, having had a few trials and tribulations, we rejoin Dave Coupland, chipping out of the thick grass. Nice little bump and run, releasing down the hill, and doing rather well.
Judged the pace really well here, Gary, and you just see it coming in now, chopping down onto the back of the ball, getting as less grass between ball and club, pops it out nicely. And I tell you what, it is the name of the game, this, the short game.
Brendan McCarroll, 32 years of age now, 4 wins on the Alps Tour, which is similar enough level to this. Favourite course, Ballyliffin, which will be staging the Irish Open in a few weeks' time. And he's been talking to Kit.
You got yourself into a playoff at Longhurst Hall last year. Unfortunately, didn't win. But knowing what that feels like, what are you expecting from today's final round?
To be honest, last year it sounds bad, but I was happy to finish second because I had no category really worth talking about. But I've been in those situations before. I've led tournaments, I've won tournaments, so I'm just going to try and do exactly what I've been doing the last couple of days, but just hold a few more putts.
Playing with fellow Irishman Brian Casey today, you mentioned it helps when you feel like it's just a round of golf with one of the lads, so being a guy you know quite well, is that going to play to your advantage?
Yeah, definitely. Usually when you play with someone you don't know, your first couple of holes you're trying to get to know the person, whereas straight off the bat we'll have a laugh and hopefully both of us do well, but maybe me a bit better.
I'll be laughing if this one goes in. It would be his 4th birdie on the bounce.
Just a little bit awkward, although it's pin height, just down the first little slope, through that little gully. Has he judged the pace? Pretty good effort actually. It was a more difficult putt than it looked.
Yeah, definitely. You couldn't really see the slope there. It's a very subtle little tear in the middle of that green. As we see Fallon here, second shot, way out right with his drive. Up and over the trees he goes, and he's giving it some what for. And he's staring it down. And I tell you what, he's found the putting surface, and that's going to be, well, a good 50-footer for an eagle, but it's an eagle try nonetheless.
It's only 3 holes in when he started struggling with that back injury yesterday. Couldn't even make a practice swing for the next 8 holes. So remarkable he shot 64.
Yeah, that's 2 left to right putts he's missed now, Gary.
Yes, it's certainly stalled the engine on his round.
Will here got off to a flying start. Good swing on this young lad. And here we go, another one that's pin height pretty much. Nice shot.
Just needs a little bit of care, this one. 30 odd inches. And you can hear playing partners a slippery hole.
It is. It's one of those. Can catch you out. It can.
Well, the Professional Darts Corporation are sponsors here this week, but unlike darts, in this game, you're never happy when you have a double. And that's going to be very hard to take after everything that's gone before for Coupland.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. Now Brooks on the tee. Nice lazy swing, strong guy. I tell you what, that you couldn't leave that in a better position. That's a nice uphill putt he's got himself there for a 2.
This would get Ennifer out in 30 and right into contention.
Just drifted right at the end there. I think he thought he had that one. Good stroke on that ball as well. O'Neill now 10 under to get to 11 under at 10. Track in. Oh, and in she pops. Thank you very much. No wonder he's smiling.
Now Fallon could really grab hold of this here. This is to get to 20 under par.
Yeah, and I think he'll make that one for 19, but it is remarkable. 19 under halfway through round 3.
Yeah, I know. My goodness. On for a record here as we see Brooks up the hill, slightly off the right for a 2. Oh, in the front door she goes. He's on the march.
Represents Hanbury Manor, which was a European Tour venue for a while, some years back. Used to stage the English Open.
Seen Scotty now for the last couple of years. Good player. And this is a dominating performance. He's getting on with it. And I tell you what, that's another birdie.
And all of a sudden, his lead is 4, 28 years of age, chasing his first win, as we say, on the tour. Favourite course, Lytham, well known as the Open Championship venue. And a keen fan of other sports, snooker and table tennis. And he's been talking to Kit.
You grew up playing golf with Andrew Beef Johnson at North Middlesex. How much of an inspiration has it been seeing what he's gone on to achieve?
It's great. It's awesome. I love seeing what he's doing, and I think for me the most impressive thing I saw him do was when he won the Challenge Tour of Merit. I don't think he got enough recognition for that as what he should have. Obviously winning the Spanish Open as well, massive achievement. Unfortunately, he lost in a playoff earlier this year in the Indian Open, but yeah, it's great seeing what he can do, and like growing up with Beef and playing with him, it's nice knowing that like it can be achieved. I like to know what I need to do and what's happening around me. I think it would be silly not to as well if somebody has got a low one going and I'm trying to play a bit conservative and I find out that I'm level or one back, and so I think I mean you need to kind of adjust and to the situation that's at hand. I think there is a 59 out there if someone really wanted it. I mean you could, a couple of eagles in the earlier par 5s, and so I think hopefully I'll play well today, and if I wasn't to win, then I'll fair play to the guy that does go on to win, and hopefully takes 59 grand with him as well. But I mean, I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. I feel like I'm playing well, and hopefully I do.
Made a quiet enough start today, but 3 birdies in a row now, and very much in charge as he comes to the shortest hole on the course.
Yeah, and this will be pretty much like my 9-iron in hand, pin on the right hand side, just over the water. Looks like he's going a bit left, playing a bit more safe, and that'll be okay. And still a lengthy one, that'll be a poor shot in his standard.
So, up to O'Neill following his birdie on the 11th tee. Oof. Just kept its feet dry.
He did, guess. And McCarroll here having a nice time with Brian Casey in this 2-ball. Definitely a 2-ball I'd like to be in amongst the mix. I'm sure we'd have a good old crack, pushing one another along. And Carroll just drifting this one in. It feels like a bit of left to right, but just overdone it. That's going to be a lengthy number.
He's eagled that hole once already this week. Could he possibly do it again?
Well, like you said here, Gary, the fringes are lovely and pure. You just putt through them nicely. Good putting surfaces. This one downhill off the left-hand side, tracking. Oh, Oh, and I tell you what, there's a bit more meat left on that bone. A knee knocker coming back.
Back to this little chip and run, hands and arms, releasing out and releasing in. Well done, well done.
Whoa, I do like that, Gary. That's good stuff, that is, from O'Neill.
McCarroll looking to be out in 31 here.
Just laying it up near the hole. A little tap in for a birdie.
And that means he's played this hole in 4 under over the 3 rounds.
Yeah, that's some seriously good golf. No, not an easy par. Putt this one up the hill, just inside right of field. You can be nice and firm with this.
It's good when you hold a putt at that sort of stage, isn't it? Keep on top of it, John.
Definitely.
Yeah, and much like Spooner when he was chasing his first win last week, Fallon looking very comfortable in this position. Luke Turbot did birdie the last for his second 64 of the week. Just a shame about that 76 in between. He's joined on 15 under by Coupland, who's got 4 to go. Scott Fallon making his bid for glory. 4 clear of the field here at Studley Wood in Oxfordshire. Scott Fallon heading towards the turn and very much in control of this final round in the PDC Golf Championship at Studley Wood as he chases his first ever victory on the EuroPro Tour in this, the 3rd event of the season. Now leading by 4 after Dave Coupland's very untimely double bogey at the 14th, Luke Turbot has posted a target, shooting 64 for the 2nd time and equaling once again that course record which he shares with Fallon. Let's have a look now at the 15th with John.
Yeah, good hole here, Michael. It really is the 15th, second hardest hole on the golf course. You can see that playing 4.37, 373, and it's a soft meandering right to left kind of hole, and the fairway is the difficulty. Slopes from left to right, so all the boys will find themselves down in the right rough with an awkward second shot up to a very, very difficult green to come into. Really subtle slopes. You've got the ditch running down the left-hand side for the players as well to be in control of their first tee shot, but the second shot is where it all counts, and it's a difficult green, and this is going to be a commonplace. Here's Dave down the right hand side in that first cut.
Yeah, the 59's gone now, but he's got to remember he can still win this. Needs a really big finish though, and it's got to start here.
And this is the trouble you have. You're not going to see the ball come to rest, and now it's just going to appear for him, and he's going to be a little bit gutted there, Gary.
Yeah, difficult, John. Always hard when you're playing to an elevated green, as we peep Mr. Ennifer through the trees.
I'll tell you what, look at that one bounding on.
Yeah, it just shows if you don't actually pitch the green, you can get a very hard bounce, can't you?
Yeah, and that pin position, very difficult today. As we see Brooks here at 9 for eagle, just off the fringe. Always come through it nicely. He's tracking from left to right. Oh, I think he thought he had that.
So what can Dave Coupland do here? Putting up the green. Long putt, pretty big swing from the left. Got the line but just blasted it through the break.
Yeah, it's not easy, Gary. It's a very difficult hole. I mean, even 16, the hole after the par 3, that's the hardest hole on the golf course.
Yeah, very, very difficult duet of holes.
It is, as we see this one just coming around the right hand side. Should start breaking late. Oh, it's held its line. I tell you what, a bit of work to be done, Michael.
Yeah, and Alistair Dalgleish, who was beaten in a playoff here last year, still the only player to eagle that 10th hole today. Hat-trick of birdies for Brooks to finish a front 9 of 35, which included a double bogey at the 3rd.
Coupland just tidying up, or not. That, I'm afraid, was a very tentative and very poor stroke. The putter never really got to the ball, did it?
No, it didn't. It was very short there, just straight left, as you see in the distance. All the birds going across the fairway, going for a little march in the sun off to another pond as Enniford taps that one in.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a march in the sun as well. Surely now the biggest threat to Fallon in this final round. And here is the leader.
Yeah, good drive. Here, setting up a nice second shot, tall high in iron over the flag, and that will do it. 2 putts from there, another birdie.
That's what you call a spring in his step.
Definitely spring in his step. Could you blame him? My goodness.
3 shots gone now in the last 2 holes for Coupland, who's actually the only player to make a hole-in-one on the EuroPro Tour so far this season. Did it at Harleyford last time out.
Yeah, and this is that 16th kind of figure of 8 green as well for these boys to deal with, fraught with danger left and right and short.
Great clubbing from Coupland. He's perfectly hole high here on the par 3 16th. He's got 30 feet and there's a lot of swing on it, slightly downhill. This could move as much as 3 cups right to left.
Not often you see a player 4 under for his round after 11 holes and hasn't had a birdie yet. 2 eagles and all the rest pars. So nearly that first birdie there.
I felt pace kept that one out there, Michael, as we see Coupland here. Now Kit's got this one 3 cups outside right. He started it, looks to be 2. It's going to break late. It didn't come back, Kit. That's going to be a tap-in par. Good par on this tough 16th. He's doing a bit of a dance.
Yeah, somewhat resigned dance though. I think he knows it's maybe all a bit too late for him now after his struggles on the last couple of holes. Especially if this goes in. Well, it hasn't, but it's a simple birdie, and with everyone through the 9th now, that means the entire field has played this hole in the final round without any of them dropping a shot. And as he turns for home, it's really Scott Fallon's to lose. 20 under par, Luke Turbot in the clubhouse on 15 under. Will Enniford is going to be the challenge, realistically, if it's going to come from anywhere. He's 5 behind, but still got 8 holes to make up that ground. Let's hear now about the 17th from Mr. Gary Allis.
Well, the 17th, short par 5, 504 yards, plays uphill. All the trouble is to the left, but the fairway's quite wide. And we can see through this week it's produced more eagles than bogeys. Find the fairway, slight turn towards 11 o'clock. And really for these guys, they'll be going at it with a long iron second shot. As you can see, 2 or 3 bunkers to avoid to the right, but find the green. This is definite eagle opportunity.
Yeah, well said, Gary. And here's Coupland down the right-hand side with the drive. This is second shot. Out with the long iron, like you said, Gary. This is going to be common play. Quite a wide target for the boys to aim at on this green. And look at this one. Oh, go on. Oh, my goodness, I thought it was going to be an albatross.
Yeah, it would have been great to see that after all that's gone wrong for him in the last few holes.
Rare bird, an albatross as well.
I know. You ever had one, Gaz?
I've never had an albatross. No, I've had 7 holes in one, but never had an albatross.
So it might happen. You never know.
I can confirm I've not had one either, just to clear that one up.
Now Brooks short-sighted himself here. And he's played a nice delicate number, getting it on the green, and that's great touch.
And it's going to be 4 birdies in a row. Coupland's already had 2 eagles today.
Another left to right putt for Coupland, and he misses it high side.
Brooks to 12 under.
Webber up the hill, right to left. Be nice and firm with this one. Let's come back the other way. Oh, go on. Yes. Oh my goodness. Crikey, I thought that was staying up then. I didn't think that was going to disappear.
Well, that's his first birdie of the day after those eagles on 7 and 9, so now 5 under for the round.
Yeah, lovely drive from Simpson down the fairway.
Yeah, perfect position. Right bang in the middle. Out with a little rescue club.
You better get some height on this one, Gary. And land it on the green as well. It's where it's at its softest, but it looks like it's going left, and this is headed towards trouble, and that's not going to be an easy up and down to make birdie from there. Oh, and it's just nestled a little bit.
Yeah, as you say, nestled and not much green. We'll return to see what happens.
Copeland for his birdie on 17, which has played the easiest hole over the first 2 rounds, averaging more than half a stroke under par.
Well, fairway at 12, 357 yards, beautiful par 4. And I tell you what, fortune favours the brave? I think not here, because I tell you what, round about the 300, 290, 300 mark, it bottlenecks to within, well, I tell you what, if I walk down there, I'd catch my ears on the trees. That's how tight it is. All the trouble is really down that left-hand side. You go in there, you're going to have an awkward shot in. Now, what I'm faced with, I've slightly pushed it. Like I say, I've got these trees to contend with. They're not really in contention for me. You got this beautiful bunker that's short of this green, wraps itself around on the right hand side, beautifully sleepered, looks like a bit of an island green from here, and it's slightly raised up, pin over on that right. It's a difficult one to get at. Now I've got a little 9-iron, roughly about the 140, playing into the breeze, up the hill, nice and easy, keep it low, and hopefully it dances for me. Come on, Mugs. I tell you what, might have just tugged it a tad. But he is singing and he's dancing. Birdie time.
Well, with 2 par 5s to finish here, you can make up ground over these closing holes, so Ennifer not out of it yet, but needs to get up and down here at 12.
Ooh, come out a bit hot to trot this one, flying past the flag, just, well, don't know if he got the banks there as Van grabs the flag.
Yeah, it just sounded as though the club just bounced up into the ball there. Didn't get the spin as we have a look at Simpson. Ooh, that's a pretty good shot there from... It's a very good shot, because that was awkward. You could see the way he had to hit down it, jab down on it to get the ball out. Good shot.
Yeah, it's not easy, Gary, when you've got to pitch it so far off the green as well. Rely on a nice firm banks to get it through. Now, Ennifer here obviously missed the first putt. Let's tap that one in, and yeah, he's going to be a bit cheesed off with the result there.
First drop shot of the day for Ennifer, and on a hole he'd birdied in both previous rounds. Now, there were 19 eagles on the final hole over the first 2 days. Could Copeland get one here?
Yeah, nicely on line. Half a club short, but eagle opportunity.
Yeah, yet again, Gary. There's many coming down the closing stretch of this golf course. Now, McCarroll at 12. Be nice if he can get on a nice little charge here, make a load of birdies before the 17th and 18th comes his way. And this one, beautiful, beautiful shot. Great tee shot in good position. Good butchers at that flag.
So that means that just like the 9th, the entire field has gone through the 10th in this final round without anybody dropping a shot.
That's the quality of the tour at the moment. On the EuroPro, it's just unbelievable.
And this is for a 63 and a new course record.
Just a rather resigned walk up the green there of what might have been.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, when you get off to such a fast start, going out in 28, yeah, just a little bit cheesed off probably on the closing stages, but that's a great birdie there by the young man. As we see Copeland now to finish off with a birdie to get to 16 under.
And equal the course record. Oh, horrible.
All day, all week.
Well, there you go. That's been his weakness. He's pretty much said it. He's not hold the putts when they come his way. He's seen him miss quite a few on this back nine. As we see, Brooks now up and over the trees. Oh, and that just hangs on. You don't want to be down in that bunker. Not an easy place to be, but that's up against the fringe. That's going to be difficult as well. Might go for the little bladey one. Now Will.
Oh, it's a lovely shot on the 13. Drilling it in there. Look at that. Dancing around the hole.
God, if you had a big stand wrapped around that green there, they'd be all going absolutely potty. Chucking their beer bottles on the green, singing hallelujah. Singing and dancing around the flag, Gary.
I think you spent too much time in the States, Mr. Morgan.
So Dave Coupland finishing off a very eventful day. Picking up 7 shots in 5 holes, had him out in 28 and dreaming of 59. Still had a chance at 10 under for the day through 13. The double bogey on 14 ended that chance, but still, it's a fine 65 for Dave Coupland.
Here. Brooks, like I say, up against that collar, got right back in the stance. I'd have gone for the little bladey one myself, but he's gone for this option. Prove me wrong. Go in. Oh, and he does. Yeah, don't listen to a word I say, Mr. Brooks. You get on with it.
He's certainly getting on with it at the moment. 5 birdies in the last 6 holes.
Yeah, that's some golf. Man's on a mission. Now, Will, after that dancing second shot, just to finish it off with a birdie. Ah, perfectly played hole.
Great response to his first bogey of the day on 12. It's his 7th birdie of the round. Scott Fallon on 20 under, 7 holes away perhaps from his first victory on the tour. Turbot and Coupland both in on 15 under. Enifer also on that score. He's still got 5 holes to go as he chases down Fallon. A fascinating battle as the field attempt to catch the imperious Scott Fallon here at Studley Wood. We're heading towards the business end of the PDC Golf Championship at Studley Wood, and Scott Fallon is getting the business done right now with his breakthrough win on the EuroPro Tour very much in sight. It's turning into quite a dominant display. He's 20 under par, 7 holes to go. Group of players behind him on 15 under, but 2 of them can improve on that position no further as they're already in the clubhouse. Let's hear now about the 13th hole.
Yeah, good hole here, boys. 434 yards, one of the longest par 4s here on the golf course, but placed slightly down. The boys are going to be out with driver aiming down the right half of this fairway, taking it on, grabbing the ball by the horns. They'll be going in with probably 9 irons, 8 irons all day long. Awkward green to come into, though, with the pin at the back of the green. Really bottlenecks out and really gets pretty tight up there. Bunkers to the left. Awkward hole, but I think these boys, the way they're playing, whew, might be dancing this one round the flag as well. But here we go. It's the second shot of McCarroll anyway at 13.
You say, Johnny's fired it down there a long way, having a look at the pin. Little bit of lean, but he's staring at it. Just didn't quite strike it.
Yeah, not quite the strike he was hoping for, just a bit shy.
It's been steady improvement for him. He started his EuroPro season with an 81 in the opening round at Frilford Heath, but getting better pretty much round by round since then.
Yeah, got the bad one out of the way as we see Brooks here. His tee shot. And this one going down the left, just snagging up in the left rough. Now putting through the fringe for McCarroll. Track in. No, just get hole side. Yeah, that'd be a tap-in, I'd imagine, for a par.
It's so close behind Fallon that every shot's so important now, the pounds and the order of merit points, and that's what it's all about at this stage, really, because it doesn't look like there's much catching this man.
No, the man's on form. He's on cruise control. He knows this golf course really well. He's playing it well, and look, there's another great shot. Keep hitting the dance floors, keep 2-putting, it's yours. Well, I said he would tuck that one in for par. How wrong was I? I didn't see that happening, Gary.
No, I mean the speed that went in. Don't know quite what happened there. Going at 100 miles an hour, it seemed, from 18 inches away.
It's funny he played the second putt one-handed when it was about the same length as the one he just missed with 2 hands.
Yeah. Well, it looks a bit of a fiery lie, this one for Brooks. He's telling it to stop. That's meaning it's got no spin on it. It's bounding forward. And yeah, just slightly tugged it. Well, he chipped one in back at 12. Is he going to do it here and make back-to-back chippings?
It's a great look, isn't it, back there where you said, John, it's narrow and it's pretty.
It is very pretty, as we see Scott Olin another cracking putt, another birdie to extend his lead. And I tell you, it is a beautiful golf course, Studley. Definitely a worthy place to go and have a visit and have a few holes.
Now, just worth mentioning, the best ever total against par in EuroPro Tour history is 20 under, so if Fallon can stay where he is now, he will break that record.
Neat little chip and run, wasn't it?
That's how it stands now. Fallon on 21 under, 6 shots clear and just out of sight. Let's go to Kit on 13.
A rare errant shot from Fallon, but he's gotten away with it. From over here, he's got a really good look at the pin. He's only going to have wedge in his hand as well. The lie isn't too bad, a little bit of rough, but he should be able to make pretty clean contact, perhaps guarding against the flyer. A really good chance still to make another birdie. What do you guys think?
Well, me personally, I think it's a great birdie opportunity on the left-hand side. Good lie, like you say, Kit, wedge in hand. As long as he can land it on the putting surface, not short and get a hard bounce, I think he's all right. Pin's in a favourable position over on the right-hand side as well for Fallon.
Yeah, pretty good, John. It's online. Nice swing, kept very steady. Just get a good contact, as we could see on the ball, and pick your spot and go for it, isn't it?
Yeah, it looked like Beef's beard went up in the air there.
Yeah. Well, only a small part of Beef's beard. Clippings.
Clippings, that's the one.
So let's have a look at the par 4 14th. Slightly uphill. This bunker really isn't going to come into play today for these players. Got to be careful not to go too far to the left. You can get in the water hazard if you go over there. And then slight dogleg to the right, uphill to the green. Difficult to find this green. It's very, very long and very narrow. And of course you can't see the bottom of the flag. So finding the green is the key on this hole.
Yeah, like you say, Gary, outward driver, probably taking it over that bunker. That's down the right-hand side. Open it up a little bit nicer. Looks to be drawing a little bit back towards the fairway. Oh, he's run through it. Oh, that's not going to be easy. Ball below the stance, bit of a furry lie. Now Fallon for birdie from distance.
He was saying after his second round, actually, he practices a lot on a local par 3 course and goes out every time aiming to be 10 under, and it's really got him in the groove of making birdies. Said it was a big help to him.
Yeah, that's a good idea, that is, by Scotty. And that one just glides past the left edge. Good slow-mo there.
Enough. Ball quite a little bit below his feet. Trying to work on up to the green. Kind of a putt from distance there, John.
Oh, he is. A few little soft little tears on that green as well as we come to 13. Simpson down the hill. Oh, and races it by. A bit of work to be done coming back.
Brooks as hot as anyone on the course right now.
Yeah, this is a man right in form today. He's gone for a little shorn off one. Is he bumping it onto the green? He's tried to. He's got just right, and it's caught the fast lane, and that's up and over the green. That's going to be an awkward up and down and save his par.
Yeah, again, it just reinforces how awkward it is. Ball below your feet, poor lie, difficult to control the ball.
Yeah, it is. Your ideal scenario for a righty. Now, Simpson up the hill, gets it.
Still just the one drop shot today. Long time ago now at the 3rd.
Yeah, Will at 15. Second toughest hole on the golf course, playing with Van Phillips up the hill. Oh my goodness, cellophane bridge. That looked like that was in. Just an ounce more energy, and that was in the front door of the hole. Blade open here, Gary.
Yeah, blade open, slide the club under the ball, keep the club moving forward, and moving the ball into the hole. How about that? Woo!
Unbelievable,
That was
guys. I mean,
incredible from down there.
that's 2 in 3 holes. He'd done it on 12, and now he's done it here on 14. Magician.
And it all adds up to 6 birdies in the last 8.
When it's your day, it's your day. And, well, it's definitely Fallon's day. 21 under par, cruising. Cruising towards the finish line.
Yeah, still not a dropped shot in his card. 21 under, a 5-shot lead now over James Webber, who's jumped up the leaderboard with his eagle on 17. Turgott and Coupland in the clubhouse, both on 15 under. And John has been out to the 16th.
Well, you've come off the tough par 4 15th, round the corner, and that's a good par if you get it. If a birdie, well done. But then you come to this beauty, 16, par 3, 201 yards as it says off the back here. The pin today at the front, but it's a figure of 8 green. I tell you, last year was completely different. I mean, it was rock hard as a coffin nail around the edges of this green. And once it landed, it went absolutely everywhere. Total different kettle of fish. It's been a massive downpour. It's really soddened the golf course, and it's going to be target golf for the players. Now, the wind was swirling above these trees last year as well, which made this ultra difficult. Got that real big deep bunker on the left hand side, bunker on the right hand side, and I'm going with middle of the road. I'm going for 5-iron and hitting a nice little punchy one. You want to keep it short of this hole if anything. Nice low ball flight, keep it controlled. And I tell you what, I like that a lot. Keep drawing a little bit. Looks like it's in the middle of the green. Oh yeah, it's absolutely fine. On the putting surface all day long. Cracking par 3, probably one of the best par 3s will come along here at 16 at Studley Wood. Bring it on.
Will Ennifer on the 16th tee. I like that, John. Hard as a coffin nail.
Yeah, it would be pretty hard, that, wouldn't it?
I'm sure it would. You're not going to escape from one of them. And that's escaped the green. I think it probably just held on and didn't go down in the bunker.
Yeah, might have just done, but it's going to be a long bunker shot, a long chip nonetheless. Now Brooks down on the right hand side at 15, commonplace, up and out of it as soon as you like. So this is going to be short and right, I feel. Yeah, spinning away. Oh, hang on there, there's a little slope. Go on, hang on. And that's going to feed further away from the hole, and that's going to be a treacherous putt now from a good 55 feet out.
So there the evidence shows it did creep down into the sand. Interesting. It looked as though he had to dig a bit for that one. I don't think it was probably a great lie, and the ball didn't check up so well, did it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, raking and everything, it can go in like a little groove mark and all of a sudden makes the shot completely different. Now Brooks, ball fed right down to the front portion of this green. Very slow putt up the hill off the right hand side. He's made it. Has he made it? Oh my goodness, what a putt.
If that goes in, it's the putt of the season.
Cool, yeah. You're not wrong there, Michael.
Really quick, just got to keep this inside the hole. There isn't much break on it, if any. I thought it was just on the lip and it stayed right there, didn't it?
It did indeed.
And that one's not in yet.
Yeah, little knee knocker here. Every shot counts. Money, money, money. Oh no, you don't wish on your worst enemy. That is terrible.
He must wish he never has to play this hole again. It's cost him 5 shots over the 3 rounds.
Well, here's the last hole for Webber, and this is a must. This is to stay at 16 under. And look at that for a scorecard. 3 eagles. Woohoo!
Yeah, and just the one dropped shot and a closing 66 for Webber, and he's the new clubhouse leader on 16 under.
Thanks very much. Your putt wasn't bad either.
Now Carroll at 16. Looks like about 6 iron he's got in his hand. What's that fading back? If it's left, there's a big deep bunker down there. And in she goes. I came down with a bit of snow on it. It might be plugged, making it ultra difficult.
Now that's an Irish accent, John. We've heard you attempt them over the years. That's how it's done.
Well, you gotta try, man. Who doesn't ever try an Irish accent? Everyone does.
Jennifer coming off the back of his horror show on 16. Looks like he might make amends there, to some extent anyway.
Now this difficult bunker shot for McCarroll. Big swing, lots of sand. Probably with so little green to work with, he'll be pleased with that. Maybe about as good as he could have done.
Yeah, definitely. It's not easy on that left-hand side, as we see Will now trying to get his birdie at 17. Nice chip to here. Oh, and he finally gets one. He's missed a few putts.
Let's go out to Kit on 15.
A yard or two further left and Fallon would have had this tree to contend with. He'd have had to have hit a little punch shot to a green that's high above him, something that's really hard to control. As it is, he's got a clear strike at it. He can take as much loft as he wants from 148 yards, fly it all the way in and get it dancing around the pin.
Yeah, looks a nice lie as well, Gary, here. Down the right.
Yeah, it certainly does. I think, as Kit said, he's a little bit fortunate avoiding the tree. He's looking after it.
Yeah, it came out a little bit hot to trot, but I tell you what, he's got so many shots to play with. You see McCarroll now up the hill. We know this one, just a slight bit of movement off the right hand side, inside right, I feel. And it just hung it out there.
Yeah, he was out in 32, but it's been a generally poor back nine so far. 3 bogeys in the last 5 now, and although there was a birdie in there as well, that's cost him a lot of ground.
I've seen his practice drills earlier, Simpson just coming across it like that, and there it is again, and that, I feel like that's a bit pulley to me. That's not a place you want to be leaving it, but he's got away with it. He's got away with it. That's going to be a fast putt from there.
Yeah, the green looked very shiny as we join Mr. Brooks on the 16th.
Yeah, man in form, Gaz. Oh, he's staring it down. He's staring it down. He's probably saying, stay away from that left bunker. I don't want it. Oh, he doesn't want it. That's a great shot. Towering, tall iron. Pitch and pin high. Very well done, Mr. Brooks.
Yeah, just trying to get it.
Hit some great shots, hasn't he?
He has, mate.
Very impressive.
Very well played. He has. He's had a great... Well, he started off slow, didn't make many birdies. Now he's gone crazy. Can't stop making them. Now Will, in a spot of bother down the left, punching this one up further up the hole. That's 18, I should say.
So, our runaway leader. Lots of green to work with. All about just getting the jump and run. And it, again, I know I say this often, but I do think that the players have a tendency at times to take too much loft when a bit straighter face club would be better.
They do. I think it's just a creature of habit as well. You go out with your mates with one club challenges, you always pick the big lofted one and play all the different shots, but you know, you should be there with a more straighter face club, and that is a cracking third by Will.
Certainly had his ups and downs over the back nine.
Now, just on the fringe, just on the green here, a little bit of left to right, down the hill, it's going to get faster. Oh, catches a hole, nice putt.
Potentially a very important one in the race to be runner-up.
Yeah, I think Brooks might have a say in this matter. If this one goes in, for birdie at the tough, the hardest hole on the golf course, 16. Oh, just grazes the left edge.
Just a subtle pin placing that's just been difficult to read, hasn't it, when you watch everybody's efforts.
Well, it's in that bottleneck on that green, on that left-hand side, close to that deep bunker. You know, the edge of that figure of 8, halfway up on the left. Not easy. Now, Will to finish with a smile on his face A birdie at 18 would be nice. Getting to 14 under off the right. Oh, hit it through the break. He's let him down today, the putter. Started off so good in the round, the putter, but yeah, he's been a naughty boy in the closing holes.
Yeah, the putt ranked about as good as the chip on that one, isn't it, really? But he's got a hatful of shots to play with.
6 birdies in the first 10 holes for Enifer, but quite a few mistakes after that. Still, it's a closing 69. All 3 rounds in the 60s for Will Enifer.
Yeah, great performance. Great performance. I see Fallon just polishing off his bogey to go back to 20. Under par. And he's off to the tough 16th.
It's his first drop shot of the day, but I think he can afford it. 20 under par, 4 ahead of James Webber, who, with the aid of that eagle on 17, has jumped up into 2nd place on 16 under and overtaken Turbot and Coupland, who were both already in on 15 under par. And John Ross Galbraith, who did so well last week, he had a closing 66. Fallon untouchable, but there's a gripping battle for 2nd and 3rd in the PDC Championship here at Studley Woods. Into the closing holes of the PDC Golf Championship at Studley Wood. It's all looking like a bit of a procession now for Scott Fallon, but much gold to play for in the places behind him as he charges towards his first victory on this tour at the age of 28. Almost certainly going to win now, but still a lot can change with those 2 par 5s to come. 20 under. He leads by 4 from James Webber. Nothing he can do about it now after his final round of 66.
Fallon's playing partner. Simpson on the tee, all to play for. 201 yards this par 3. Staring it down. Oh, what's that? Is it a bit left? No, it's a bit right. Got the club in. Pretty much spot on there, guys.
Yeah, he certainly did. It's interesting how he plays almost all his shots with that rather sort of chopped off leftish follow through.
McCarroll has birdied the 17th in both rounds so far.
Yeah, the Irishman going along nicely. Looking for a nice finish here, and that's a nice shot with his 2nd, setting up a good eagle chance.
As we said, guys, he could well afford that bogey on 15, Fallon, but it means he's got to play the last 3 and 1 under to break that EuroPro Tour record of 20 under par.
Yeah, well, I think he's in cruise control. He's trying to work it back in. Oh, and he's done a great job. What a shot. That's a man in form, Gary.
That certainly is. Brave. Not sure he intended to go quite so tight to the bunker. But
no, I think you're right. As we see Brooks here on the tee at 17. Cool, look at that hard bounce. Whizzing past the cameraman down the left-hand side.
Great response to that bogey here for Fallon. He's knocked it into 10 feet on the 16th and he's got a pretty easy putt. 10 feet straight up the hill. I don't expect this to be anywhere but the bottom of the cup.
Well, we've seen a few eagles on 17 among the leaders already today, including the clubhouse leader James Webber. Could we see one from Brendan McCarroll?
Yes, we can, Michael. The Irishman getting a nice, well-deserved eagle there.
Gets back the 2 shots he dropped in the previous 4 holes.
Simpson. Up the green, off the fringe. Ooh. And a right old dig at that one.
Cool, he did. He fancied it. Now I wonder what he's going to do here. Brooks down the left-hand side, up and under and over and around from right to left for his 2nd out of the rough. Hold on tight. Bit of craftsmanship coming out here. Oh, this one running and running. Oh, and he's done a good job, Gary.
Yeah, that is good. Bit sort of old school there. Had to keep it down, then up and round and bring it in from right to left. And touch of sort of somebody like a Sevi magic.
Oh, I'll tell you what, he'll take that.
Only 3 players have birdied this hole all day today. And it stays at 3.
Yeah, tough green to read this one, Michael. We've seen a lot of putts missed. We haven't seen a lot hold on this hole.
Do you not think as well, John, when a bit of pin placing on near a bunker with the sand splash over the years that comes out, it always just changes the contours of the greens. Are changing frequently when they keep getting covered with sand.
Good shout, Gary. Good shout, yeah. I would say you're right there. Never really read into it like that, but we can see another putt missed by Simpson, up and out. As quick as you like, and yeah, a little bit disgruntled there, heading towards 17th tee. Now Brooks for eagle. God, what an eagle this would be.
It would put him alongside Webber in 2nd place.
Goes down the hills, pretty fast putt. It's chasing. Oh, and it's a good putt, whole side. That's going to be a tap-in birdie for Brooks. After a cracking second shot to find the green. Nicely done.
Now, can Fallon squeeze out one more birdie on these last 2 holes and break that scoring record?
Yeah, this is nice at 17. Look back at the tee. It's kind of in a nice little cubbyhole of trees wrapped around it. You come out, aim down the right, open your shoulders up, get it a bit from right to left, but he didn't like that. Way out right.
Yeah, you just see a little bit too much lateral hip movement. He has a lot of movement to the left there. Body gets in front of the club head's left behind. Bing, out right.
You come to this 18th, elevated tee box, comes down, you can see a beautiful view in front of you, and it's scattered of bunkers, it really is. Now, you've got the first one on the right-hand side, to carry that about 272, but because it's down, it's not really going to be in play for the players. If the breeze gets up, it's into his face, maybe. But then the next 2 that come along, that's left and right, they're about 309, 307 to reach. Now, let's do the first portion right. Driver. And I tell you what, little bit of draw hanging down the left hand side, looking like it's right on my cameraman. Oh, I think it's just bounced right of him. I think he put his hand out like he was going to catch it. Woohoo! Have that. Well, I've just counted from the bunker. It's another 10 yards on, so that leaves me 197 yards to the front of this green for my second shot. But I've got an awkward lie. Looks a little bit jumpy to me. Could come out a bit hot to trot. I'm on a slight downslope, so the ball's going to come out a bit lower. Got kind of this bowl kind of look to it leading up to this green as well, with the second shot from where I am up a little bit higher. Now I'm going with the 6 iron. It's going to come out low, hot to trot. If it pitches at the front of the green with that pin at the back today, could get pretty close. Let's give it a go. Run in. Oh, go on, ball, go on. Oh, not far away. I'll have to take it. Oh, well, come on, eagle chance.
I thought you were going to give it the full Sergio Garcia back in '99 there, John, when you started a couple of little quick steps after your shot there.
Yeah, not as fit as Serge. Yeah, he'd have been proud of me after my effort there. Oh, and that's not a good one. Is that water bound? I wonder. We'll soon see as we see Brooks now teeing it high and letting it fly down this 18th hole out with driver. Oh, and he's got into that. A little bit left. It is a bit of tree surgery en route.
Yeah, if you stood up and took dead aim at that, it'd be quite difficult to do. But often that's the way. You have one particular target and you rip the ball dead straight, don't you?
Looks like it's going to be his best ever finish on the EuroPro Tour.
Well, ball above the stance here for Scotty. Might be hanging a bit left, low and left. Like I say, it's working its way down there in the left rough, and it's only going to be like half a lob wedge onto this green for his third. You can just see it just on, actually on an upslope. Ball above him, not easy. Always going to fight the left-hand side with that.
Looks like McCarroll did find the water with the second shot, as you thought, John. So here's his fourth.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, that big, high, tall chip, trying to land it softly by the flag. Done a good job. Just rolling off the green, but that's going to be a chance. Now, Most lofted club in the bag, I fancy here, Gary.
Yeah, lie looks amazing. Looks almost too good. It's very nicely played, well controlled.
Already had two first-time winners on the tour this season, Paul O'Hara and Billy Spooner. This man poised to be the third.
Well, this will be some part after finding all the trouble on the left-hand side. Tracking, what a way to finish. Oh, Alfa Romeo. Oh, it seemed like it was still moving.
Well, it's his fourth drop shot in a real mixed bag of a back nine, out in 32, but a very disappointing 38 coming home. It will, though, be a top 10 finish for Brendan McCarroll.
Yes, a real curate's egg there. 4 bogeys, eagle, birdie. You know, all added up to not a bad score, but he'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, it's one of those go-get-'em courses. It's there for the taking, as we see Simpson here at 17. Off the right. Oh, misses another.
And unless he can hold his second for an albatross at the last, that rules him out of the race to grab a share of second.
Well, Andrew the Beef Johnson will be definitely happy to see this man at the top of the leaderboard, kind of going on from strength to strength. Another birdie effort here, down the slope, inside right. No messing. In she goes.
And it leaves him just needing a par at the last now to set a new EuroPro Tour aggregate scoring record. Sam Connor, 20 under in the Matchroom Sport Championship last season, the best up until now.
Brooks, after his arboreal adventures, out with the fairway wood, slightly uphill, giving it some welly.
Oh, he has, guys. Down the right-hand side, I feel. Oh, nice bounce. I tell you what, let's come to rest and not a bad place. He's going to fancy his chances from there.
Yeah, if he can just bump one down there, let it trickle down, might get really lucky.
And if he gets up and down from there, that'll be enough to join Webber in a share of second place on 16 under. This man looking for a 5 for a place in Tour history.
Oh, he went for that one. He went for that one. Both feet off the deck at impact, I feel, and cool. What a tonk. Down the left side. No problem. Look at the wind up here, Gary.
It's tremendous, isn't it? It really is, look at that. And there's a lot of sideways movement. Club drops a bit down under. Whoosh! Leaning back with the head. As I said earlier, it is an action a little all his own.
Yeah, it's worked for many people. Now, Brooks, he can't chip in a third time, can he? He's done it twice. Oh, just came out a bit heavy, came out a bit thick, not quite the connection he needed. That's going to be a big money putt coming up. Driver for Simpson, good balance. Picks the tee up straight away. The last stroll of the week.
It's been great, it's been a lovely week, and there's been some really good number of spectators out here this week, which is great to see.
It is indeed, just following the leading group. Now back down the kit.
Fallon only has 173 yards into the 18th green, and it's a par 5, so eagle is a very real possibility. He's got a really good lie, even though it's just crept into the wispy stuff as well. The grass is going with him, and not much of it looks like it will get trapped between the ball and the club face. That means he probably doesn't have to worry about a flyer. He'll have a mid-iron in hand. He can really attack this. If he can make eagle, he'll set a new PGA EuroPro Tour scoring record with a 23 under par winning total.
Up to the green, Brooks, this 4.5 footer. Just keep it in that left half. Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, horrible double bogey at the third, and he was still 2 over for the day after 7, but then 4 straight birdies turned things round, and there were another 4 after that in a final round 67 for Joe Brooks. He joins Webber on 16 under, and you just never know, come the end of the season, that putt could be the difference between getting his Challenge Tour card and not.
Yeah, right there as we see Simpson after a cracking drive finding their fairway out with what looks to be about a 5-4 iron. Tall high rising one, little twirl with the club, he likes it. Oh, I tell you what, that would look great in the air, just half a club too much. Now here's Scott Fallon in that wispy stuff Kit was talking about. Probably no more than a 7 iron in his hand, 8 iron if that.
Yeah, another one that would look great there. Just as Kit mentioned, the slightly wispy stuff took a bit of the spin off it, but look at that one go. Launched on its way.
I think Fallon's really going to fancy this chip for eagle. He's only just off the putting surface and he's not too far from the flag. It's all slightly downhill, just bleeding a touch from the left. He can get it on the surface and let the weight of the ball carry it down there. What's better, his playing partner's been really sociable. He's just about a yard further away, so he's going to get a really nice little learn on how that ball reacts and releases out once it lands on the putting surface.
Oh, looks like my dog, Ozzy. Nice little border terrier. Now Simpson to go first, like Kit said, should just bleed off the left, downhill. Fallon going to get a nice read. Oh, and one goes in. Eagle. Oh, what a finish.
Yeah, that's going to move him up a few places in the final reckoning. 4 birdies as well, but with an early bogey and a late bogey, it all adds up to a 69, which is somewhat overshadowed today by those around him and their exploits.
I'll learn him a couple of bog, Gary.
Yeah, it will. It's all welcome early in the season. So, has Fallon learned? It's running nicely. Oh, God. It's a good shot, wasn't it?
Very good shot. Just see his reaction there, closing the eyes like, oh, not to be. But nonetheless, lovely chip.
This man, Scott, has got the lot. Fallon hits the bullseye in the PDC Championship, his first win on the EuroPro Tour. A thoroughly dominant performance. Leading by 5 overnight, he could afford a quiet start, then a hat-trick of birdies from the 5th gave him a very firm grip on things, which he never looked likely to let go of. Nice to finish with back-to-back birdies as well. A first win then for 28-year-old Scott Fallon, coasting home by 6 shots over James Webber, and Joe Brooks, whose birdie finish secured his best ever placing on the tour. Turbot and Coupland both going low on the final day to share 4th with Simpson.
I just try to keep it stress-free, and I managed to keep it as stress-free as possible. I had a lot of short par putts out there, and no, it feels really good.
There's not much you can do with Scotty Fallon going out there and shooting 22 under in 3 rounds. So second, I'm happy with.
I felt someone else would get to 16. 17 was the number for me. I made a great eagle down 17, and then unfortunately 3-putted the last, which is costly, but it's great to get the feelings and be in the positions.
22 under par is a new PGA EuroPro Tour record as well. How good does that sound?
It does sound good. You mentioned earlier about 20 being the record, and I wasn't sure if it was 20 or 21, so I said to my caddy on the last, I was like, right, we have to birdie this to try and get the record. Unfortunately, managed to.
Well, last week's winner, Billy Spooner, missed the cut, while Paul O'Hara didn't play here, so Fallon moves alongside both of them on top of the early season order of merit. Brooks and Webber make a huge leap after they shared 2nd place, both now just outside that all-important top 5.
We promised you birdies and eagles at the top of the show, and boy, did the players deliver in spades. The scoring was incredible. Dave Coupland got us excited and on 59 watch, out in an incredible 28 shots. There were so many rounds in the mid to low 60s, but Scott Fallon coming in on 16 under par. He had enough of a cushion to cruise to victory this afternoon. 22 under par is a new EuroPro Tour record, a magnificent effort on an absolutely pure golf course here at Studley Wood. We're all set for an incredible season. Please join us next week from Montrose.